AITA for giving my son $15,000 for his wedding knowing that it would not go down well with my daughter. My 50M son to 9M is getting ready to marry his fiancée of 3 years. I know her and I very much approve of their marriage. She's awesome and I couldn't be prouder of my son. I told him that I'd help pay for his wedding and his mother, and I managed to put together $15,000, which should help them have a pretty decent wedding. My son announced his wedding, and eventually my daughter, 27F, found out from my son's fiancée. She called me pretty irate since money has always been a sore spot between us. Around 10 years ago, my son went off for college and my daughter went shortly after. My son went to a local community college and later became a welder. My daughter was always more academically minded than him and got accepted to a pretty great school in New York for music. Problem is, my wife and I made too much money for her to get many grants or scholarships. I paid for my son's community college in full, but my daughter's college fund would basically only cover 1 year of tuition at the nice school, and I'd be out of pocket a little for room and board as well for that year. I told her that while I am so proud of her for getting into that school, I don't agree with her going to that school since we can't afford it. She didn't accept any alternative such as going to a local school or going to a cheaper school in New York. She said that she was going irregardless, so I relented. I paid the deposit and she went. I paid the bills until her fund $50,000 was done. She then started taking out loans for school even though I advised her against it, and she tried having me sign loans in my name to help pay for her education, which I did not, which didn't help our relationship. Our son got the rest of his paid out in a bulk sum out of fairness. She graduated with about $150,000 in student loans. She worked for an orchestra for a while, but didn't make a lot, so she became a teacher in New York but continued to struggle financially due to the burden of her loans. She frequently asked for money, which I stopped helping with 2 years ago. I once offered to have her move back home rent-free, but she doesn't want to move from New York to rural Florida. We cut her off financially. This has led to a frosty relationship with my daughter, as she blames us for her woes not taking loans for her and not helping more with her college costs. She even had a fiancé break things off when he found out her loan burden, which she blamed us for. It all culminated with her calling in tears, blaming us for her financial condition, calling us terrible parents, and that since we obviously care for our son more, he'll be the only one we have contact with. We tried to reassure her that we still love her so much and we'd make a similar contribution should she get married, but that didn't help her calm down. She hasn't returned our texts or calls in a while and we're pretty beat up about it. My wife especially is crying pretty often. Did I mess up? Am I the a-hole? I miss my baby girl.